Hood Postman, City, Hood, Click. Let's go.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is gonna send you big. Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. And drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome to the Mailroom. When you come in, take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. Before they had handguns, they had hand guys. Man up. You can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth, and the truth you shall receive. Get on the bus and let these gentlemen just take you to school. What's going on with gentlemen, scholars, and teachers and healers? What's happening?
Wow, peace and blessings, King. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Introduce yourself.
People call me KK, but Kevin Ford, or some of the brothers call me Abdul Kareem. I go by many names from many different disciplines, and a lot of them names I was blessed with, not just I took on my own, right? Actually given to me. But from New York, man, South Side, Jamaica, Queens, South Side, North Side, that whole thing. For years though, I was in a space of studying theology, business, got a certificate in ministry and human services. Was introduced like into ancient sciences from the Kemetic point of view. Studied that for a long time. Actually, helped start a chapter, the Shitout Netta chapter, upstate New York. Unfortunately, like I was incarcerated for a while, and I had took that particular time actually just study as much as I possibly can. From a regular academic standpoint, from a historical standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, theological standpoint, it just looking for something to fulfill and grow. And since then, since being home, just building. Started organization EM3 Incorporated, which stands for Evolve Minds, Illuminate Men, Women, and Children. Also a part of another organization, Building Unity Community. And a few other things, a few other organizations and stuff that I've built.
And you also have a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel? What's your YouTube channel?
We locked in. My partners Mikey B and Moshe, where we give instruction, man, and dialogue from a different perspective, from someone who actually went through being incarcerated, having life in prison, gang banging, being in the streets, and turning their lives around and becoming successful Black men, becoming successful conscious Black men who are actually contributing to their societies. So you have three unique stories, man. Individuals who've been through the fire, who stood, didn't fold, you know what I'm saying, and just kept evolving and still standing right now to this day and still building and evolving.
Right. James Cash,
So make
man,
sure
if
y'all
you
check
can't
that out.
behave
We like.
yourself, man, hold on, James Cash, if you can't behave yourself, man, you gonna have to find somewhere else to go, man, because we don't do that aggressive stuff over here, bro. And if whatever your personal feelings about this religion or that religion, I appreciate it. You keep it to yourself because I don't need to hear it, and the audience don't need to hear it. It's just your personal opinion. Those doesn't make it true. We still love you and we appreciate you being part of the community, but at the same time, with the disrespect, bro, keep the curse words out of it. Just keep it regular English. We understand regular English quite well. I appreciate it. Shout out to Kenny Mack. What's going on, man? Tell the people about yourself. We can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Go out and come back in. Go out, come back in. Hopefully you can hear that. Go out and come back in. You got to go out and come back in, bro. There you go. Maybe you get that. Shout out to Keith, man. Shout out to Love Sauce. Shout out to James Cash. Shout out to everybody that's joining us. RDL. Shout out to you, man. What's going on, Marlena? What's going on? B News TV. What's happening, Michelle? How you doing? Great. Dominique, what's going on, man? I'm glad we got our guys here. We got the team here. Yeah. So tell us a little more about your podcast, Kevin. Well, everybody got booted out. Hello?
And yeah, did he come back in?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to come back in. Your camera's off again.
Yo, okay, my bad. Oh, there you go. Just my hold on, let me open it. Hopefully this will help me get back in. Studio. In the studio. Am I back?
What do you have? Oh, you have to take it off so you can match it.
Yeah, take it off. Now you got a couple of things going on. There you go. I don't know. We having a difficult day, right? Some days build an airplane while we fly it. I really was looking forward to this discussion. I don't know why they don't know that, James Cash. I don't know. Crazy eyes. What's going on? Let me see where the guest's at. No guess. Well, I don't know. We'll give them a few more minutes, but sometimes the show must go on, regardless to what the people are doing. We got to push forward, right? Shout out to everybody, man. Matter of fact, let's get into a little dialogue. Days ago, we lost a sister through a tragic circumstances and situation. And here we go. There go Kevin. Okay, Kevin, you there?
Yeah.
We lost you
Sorry
for a
about that.
minute.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Well, tell us about your podcast and what is it? What are you guys doing over there? And what's the Go ahead.
So on We Locked In, is We Locked letter N. So you had it's three similar stories but unique in a sense. All three of us, three of my co-hosts, we all went to prison when we was young, right? All went to prison when we were teenagers. All got a bunch of time. Like I did 25, my partner did 22. My other partner I think did 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we all was gangbanging when we was inside there. We all reached positions to whereas, and it was big homie in New York they call it like Godfathers. Like so
So
all
you
like
mind
three of us
mind me
like
asking what correctional facility you were in?
basically I was in every maximum security prison in New York State. So Attica, Clinton, Greenhaven, Shawanga, Sullivan, Sing Sing, Comstock. In every last, I was in every last one of them. Some
And
of
you
them more,
actually spent a
some of them
total how
more
many
than
years
once.
there?
Huh?
Can
You
you
actually
count?
spent a total how many years?
Can you?
25 years.
Did he come back
25
down
years.
now?
Yeah, 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kenny Mac, we'll come back to you, Kev. Kenny Mac, tell them, give a little background on
Can you?
yourself.
Okay. I was born and raised in Long Beach, California, on the east side. Started in the gang culture in the third grade. Um, Came up in that era of the crack, the whole low riding and the major, the major. I want to say the component that everybody today know of the gang banging lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
Uh, went to school, got a master's in kinesiology, played football at Sonoma State University, played at Cerritos College. Uh, is an evangelist and was raised in the Christian church. Kind of went my own direction in the latter part of my life, uh, and started doing some other things, and pretty much been like I was saying earlier, opened and kind of like dabbled and looked into kind of most of the religions that's out there, and trying to educate myself the best way I could, so I would have no disrespect or no ill will or no bad feelings about anything that my brothers decided to engulf themselves into or see about in what's to offer out there.
Uh, Let me have a quick question with you, Kenny. Did you pick Christianity, or did you sort of like it just fell on you, or was it like traditional? Your family members, that's just the way they went, and you followed it as well.
Well, what it was is that growing up, by like I told you, my mother and my grandmother being in the Christian church, and my mother being an evangelist, I was always inside of the church, always at the church. So it kind of like was part of the lifestyle that was chosen for me. And once that was chosen for me, I kind of rolled with it until I got of the age and and so to say, my brain started to develop to start studying and looking for the truth myself.
So,
So
quick question to both you guys: how do religion and gangbang correlate? Because I believe it has a correlation at some point because it's just a transfer of energy, but one is more informative. The other one is involved in ignorance. The other was informed in information. But
I
they
love
all
you want to take that one first, bro, and then I'll come
Yeah,
behind you.
yeah, because I love that. That's a good question.
That's an excellent question. That's an
Um,
excellent question.
because it's funny because I had my own little theory, right? Just
Mhm.
just coming up in the hood, whatever, you young, you running around the streets. I was like, in order for a person to continue growing, you got to be a part of something organized, right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
So it's just understanding, like, the struggle of your people, what you're going through. So a lot of times we'll gravitate towards gangbanging, right? Because you
Exactly.
look for that family, that familiar structure, or that brotherhood or sisterhood, right?
Yeah.
And you grow up in that, but now you have those that's really not into the criminal aspect, right? So it's like,
Yes.
all right, what do they do, right? I don't
Yes.
want to really. I love the gang. I love the familiar aspect. I love being, with my people, but I ain't with, let's go rob, or let's go carjack, or let's. I ain't with none of that. So it's like you move on. So you may play sports, right? You may guys get into organizations for all sports is concerned, and then there's a hunger for knowledge that tends to come with you growing or coming of age. So
Exactly.
I don't know how big the 5% nation was over there, but in New York, that was like a thing that pulled a lot of young people from the streets, right? Because they was teaching something. So
Yeah.
you had, oh, okay, 5%, they know they teach you knowledge of self, boom. And it was just the more you studied, like with me, what I would say, like the more you studied, the more you would want to get into, because you would grow out of your present situation. Like
Yeah.
me, I grew out of not the brotherhood and familiar part, but I grew out of gangbanging on a
Yeah.
different type of levels. So now it's like, all right, what me seeking knowledge, but how can I seek knowledge with those around me,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
now once you go to that, you tend to keep on evolving.
Yeah.
So just like I told you, I studied something like the comedic science. So it's like with that, there's a process, a natural evolution that man goes through, right?
Yeah.
So if you're continuing seeking knowledge, it's like, all right, I got this part, but this don't give me everything I want. Like I went through something with the 5% stuff. Like this don't give me what I want. I
Yeah.
need more. So
Yeah.
you may go to Nation of Islam, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you studying this. All right, this doesn't, it gives me, but there's still something more, right?
And
There's still
real quick,
something
brother,
more.
I don't mean to do this, but I just want to build on something that you said that hit me.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people don't understand is that what knowledge does is knowledge is never ending. Knowledge is one of those things that the more you search, the more you look, the more you're gonna find.
That's
So
right.
knowledge is never gonna feel or scratch that itch or give you what you need as a man to be whatever it is you're looking for, because knowledge is something that is gonna just keep building. It's never gonna stop.
Never gonna
You're always
stop.
gonna be more full.
Knowledge is also confidence.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
also confidence is also a tool in which we use to build
Yeah.
community and create conversation
Yeah.
and know because we have more in common than we do less in common.
That and what
And
knowledge
once we
is, what
get
people don't
in the
understand.
commonality of building rapport amongst each other, we see that we mirror and reflect each other
Yeah.
in that space.
Yeah.
But again, Kenny, I want you to what was it like you that correlate well? What was the correlation?
Between me and gangs and the
Religion,
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
religion.
The religion. Okay. The thing that the correlation with religion was that when I grew up, the gang was my mom was a single mom, so at home I didn't have a male there. And what gangs did is that the guys that was on the corners and the ones that I think talked before, I looked at them as like a Superman type figure, as like the ultimate man. That the bridge between the rite of passage of that dude right there is what's gonna make me become the ultimate man. When not
So
knowing,
who was that
anything
impactful
else.
person that gave you that made you feel like that? There has to be something that impacts you or a person that impacts you. Who was that person?
Who was that person that impacted me to
Mhm.
feel the way like what I'm talking about right now?
Yes.
It would have to be Michael Deeds. It would be which was one of the one of the main dudes in our hood. He ended up being shot, killed. I think it was in the late '80s, but he was one of those guys that I thought, man, I thought he was the ultimate male. Like he was the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? So if I could get to that status, then I made it. You know what I'm saying?
So Kevin, I see you looking at Asiatic Supreme's question. I see you looking at that. What you think about what Asiatic Supreme said?
Uh,
So now it's just
I'm
it's
not looking at
crazy.
comments Asiatic Supreme.
No. I had just I ain't looking at it, but I just looked at it when he mentioned that. But it's just understanding words, right?
Yeah,
Understanding what things mean
yeah,
and what actual cults mean. So cults become a thing where it's like a fanatical following, right? Where
yeah.
you become fanatical in your approach and kind of blind in your approach with actual things that are cults, right? So my thing is always looking stuff up, right? And that
And
was one of the
I,
things where it got me on my particular path, right? Always
uh-huh.
finding out what a thing actually means, because I knew our history was taken from us. I knew we was given something, a whole bunch of soul, a whole bunch of lies and propaganda.
Oh yeah,
So one,
we was stripped. We see, and that's another thing, bro. Not to cut you off. What people don't understand about us is not only was we stripped of our name, our culture, and who we was, they knew, and they being power structure is the whole thing was to turn us inside out. Is to make us be inferior to almost everything, even our women. So the thing was is to make us become a lower being and a lower vibration. So that's why, like, us with the cults and the religions, we gravitate toward that dynamic because of I'm looking for the right word. Uh,
There's just a sense of familiarity, bro.
exactly. Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
want you people
Let
people
me
want
interject.
somebody to be with them to
Go
bond
ahead,
with.
Kevin.
Like people want somebody to be with them to bond with. So if you learn
Exactly.
something or feel like you're empty in some type of way in your life, right?
And
Like
that identity.
you're gonna seek someone out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whether it's someone you may learn from or someone you may want to share something with. So when you
Exactly.
have those commonalities coming out, that tends to bond people. What the bad part is that some people bond in a negative light, right?
Exactly.
Because it feels good to them, even though it may be bad. But I got somebody that share the same thing I share, regardless if
Yeah.
it's truthful,
Yeah.
regardless if it's
It ain't
truthful or
just
not.
me. It's like you said. I got somebody with me. I got whether it be a brother or whether it be a sister or whether it be a group of people. I got somebody that we on the same vibration and the same frequency that we going in a direction together, whether it's wrong or right.
So
So
would you guys agree that sometimes that free will supersedes biology? Because biology is that we have the five senses. We know with smell, taste, and all this other elements of biology, right? But
mhm.
sometimes, well, all the time, I think that free will supersedes it.
I
You
me
guys,
I think with free will is people put choices and things they've done as a free will concept versus I think um as like groups. Like you take for instance like Kevin, I wanted to ask him, okay, when you decided to join the gang, what was the reason you joined the gang? What was the reason you
and
chose
that's free will.
to join?
Yeah. So now when he said, I'm gonna tell you in a second because I wanted to say something to his free will thing because, like, what it does is that I think our concepts of free will gets distorted, right?
Mhm.
Because now even though you have the freedom of choice and to choose, right? Now it's really knowing what that freedom is, right?
Yeah,
Because sometimes we actually like that was one of the things that I found out in prison. Really found out like what freedom is,
yeah,
right? And that's the pursuing of excellence. That's
yeah,
the a person actually becoming better and striving for excellence.
yeah,
So that also means you got to have some type of discipline. But
exactly.
what this place does, our society does now, is they take freedom, or you
Mhm.
can say free will, whatever. They'll take it and make it feel like you can do and be anything you want according to your senses,
Yeah,
right? So this
yeah.
feels good.
You
I'm
feel
just
yeah,
gonna
exactly,
do it because
exactly.
it feels good. No
Because it
matter
feels
how
good
much
to me.
harm it does to me, no
Yeah,
matter how much harm it does to anyone else, it feels good to me. So I'm just
exactly,
gonna do it. I
exactly.
mean, and they get actually
So
lost
let
in
me
that.
interject also. Free will, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it free will that we had a choice, or did we have a choice? Because
I
why
feel
why did we choose to go deal with a religion that was used to enslave a people?
yeah.
Why did we like just run back to it? Like, you know what I mean? So
I love that.
I've been trying to understand that
I think
I
a lot
for
of
love
this
quite
that.
some
a lot of this
time.
has to do with I think a lot of this
And
has
it's perplexed because I've never been forced to go to church or do any of that. I kind of pick and choose as I went, and I've studied all the different philosophies, and you know what I mean. And what I
yeah,
found was all
I
of
was
them pretty much
forced. I
had.
was forced.
Hold on,
I
hold
was
on,
a person that was forced.
hold on. All of them had a criteria to judge between what's right and wrong.
Yeah,
I get that part, right? But the part where they get to that you gotta do this and you gotta do this, or else you gonna burn in there. Man, I'll be looking at these people like, man, are you for real?
All right, so
Because if you go to Isaiah, what is it? Isaiah 45:7,
Isaiah
when
45.
God created both good and evil,
hmm
how do the Christian community or the Hebrew community or even the Islamic community explain that?
yeah,
All right, so this. I love this. So now there's two particular, well, three things, right? You mentioned the first thing you mentioned. He asked a question. I want to answer his question, and
yeah,
then a third thing, right? So I'm gonna try to
yeah,
stay in order and get everybody what they wanted. So I'm gonna answer that first one about him when he asked me about the gang thing. What made me into going to gang thing? So what made me go into that was in New York, our concept right? Like young blood, right? So our concept of blood was like we stood on the principle of the five, of riding the five, right? Love, peace, truth, justice, and freedom, right? And the thing started like fighting against oppression, right? And protecting the weak, right? Inside the prison system. So that was something that I was attracted to, because I can't stand bullies. I can't stand people that take advantage of others, right? Or dudes that be fronting like they tough and they really not tough, right? And just be taking advantage of it. So like I couldn't stand that. And my boy M1, he's always sitting down talking like, yo, bro, yo, come on. But I was practicing. I was a practicing
Who is
Muslim at that
KK?
time.
Before you go any further, who is KK?
That's me.
Oh, okay. Somebody just put that. I just was trying to make sure. Okay. I got the right guy then. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So now I was a practicing Muslim at that time, but I was serious about everything. So the Muslims that was there, they weren't really on it. They weren't practicing. They was half stepping. But and one of the things in Islam though is about protecting the weak, right? Giving
Mm-hmm.
charity and doing all that. So I was on it.
Yeah.
So now when I was like 17 years old, 18 years old, right? So full of energy, full of vigor, hype, and the Bloods at the time, like, yo, you know, they're stopping a lot of the stuff that was going on in prison, and I was with it.
Yeah.
I was with it. Going against the police, was anything like I was with it. So that's what ended up making me turn blood. But now, what you said as far as like slavery and the religion, so how I end up gravitating back towards Islam, right? Because I went astray, I went wild for it, is the fact of all the things that I was studying, Islam kept, it was in line with the teaching of Islam, right? It was in line with it like to the T. When I went back to the Kemetic science, the oldest religion in the world, the Chitao Netta and the Tarianism, like I went back and it was in accordance, always in line with it, right? And then you had rabbis just recently, just now on social media, who just revealed that, oh, Islam technically now like is the oldest religion because it was the religion they found out that Adam practiced, that Noah practiced, that Moses practiced, right? It is what they practiced.
But
So it wasn't necessarily
you get that.
an established, I almost like it wasn't necessarily an established religion like how we would say in a political sense, and you put it like, yo, this is the religion.
Yeah,
This is
people get confused with the name Islam, but it
yeah,
really just means according to nature and the one who
exactly,
submits to the will of God. That's it.
But
That's all it means.
exactly,
but the thing is that I was trying
exactly.
to ask Kevin is that a lot of people that I talk to, even a lot of Muslim brothers, is that Muhammad sat at the feet of Shem and Noah and learned a lot of the stuff of his teachings.
Yep.
So that means that if he did that, if that's a true point, then that means that the Bible, just like I was talking to a Muslim brother the other day, and he said that Muslims believe that Christ was a major prophet.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that, but Muhammad and Christ is mentioned in the Quran.
Exactly.
But Muhammad is not mentioned in the Bible.
Muhammad is mentioned in the Bible though a few times, and in the Old Testament, in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, right?
Okay.
But we know that because now one of the requirements, right? There's a few requirements. One of the requirements for Muslims, right? Because you have the 5 pillars and you have the 6 articles of faith. So this is like a must for every Muslim, right? The 5 pillars and the 6 articles of faith. It's like a
I
must for
thought
every
you said
Muslim,
an
right?
article.
So it's like you believe in all the books that
Uh-huh.
God revealed, right? All the prophets and messengers, right? That was sent and that was given messages. The angels, right? You believe in angels. You believe in the hereafter, right? You believe in the day of judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that like a Muslim like must believe, bro.
Okay.
Like you must believe that. But now it's not believing blindly though. That's the whole thing. So we know that 325 AD, the Council of Nicaea, right? And the Nicene Creed, where Constantine wasn't even with no religion. He was just a political leader who actually called religious people to sit down to get his country in order and destroyed basically what was in the Bible, right? It's like
Again,
I don't know.
let me stop you right there. There was actually 3 councils, right?
It was
Now,
more.
see,
It was actually it was more than 3. I don't know how many councils there was. There was more. There was more than 3 though. But
Yeah.
that one, the Council of Nicene, that was the
Mhm.
first one. There was probably three major ones. But I remember the first one. Like it always stuck. It always remember because I was the one stuck. It was like 325 A.D. The Nicene Creed. He made everybody in there agree to it. Like and basically they chopped up, not just chopped up the Bible, but he implemented other stories and theories inside of their teaching because
They
Hellenism,
Europeanized it.
along with taking books out and breaking it up in different, like not genres, but taking things out that we have what we have now, and we're missing.
They Europeanized it. Let's be honest.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now, what tends to get overlooked though, this is another thing it's funny. I haven't said that. I just told somebody this too. But what gets overlooked though is what was the practice in religion at that time during that time period. What was the prevailing religion, right?
Monotheism.
No, it wasn't monotheism. Where he was at in Constantine, where he was at, there was a religion called Hellenism.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with
That
that.
was what the majority of the people in that country, that's what they practiced.
Yes.
Right? So there was starting to be revolts and
polytheism.
upheaval and riots in his country. Right?
Yeah.
Because you had certain people who followed Christ, then you had sun worshipers, so it was like turmoil was starting to go on in his country. Right?
Yeah.
So what Constantine wanted, he's like, this ain't gonna happen. He's like, this ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna put an end to all this right now.
Yeah.
And so his way of putting an end to it, he called all of the top religious people from all over different areas to come to Constantinople, to come to his area, to do what he said. This is how this is going to be done. Right? He implemented a little bit of this in there, took this out, implemented a little bit of this in there, took that out, right? And they all went for it. Yeah. Everybody went for it.
Everybody
all of them went for it, bro.
Yeah.
So what about this, KK? Why would we worship something that didn't create nothing and was created itself?
I say we foolish, man. Man just foolish, man. I count myself, man.
Because if Jesus worked amongst man, that means he was a part of creation, right?
Exactly.
So what did he create?
He ain't create nothing.
That in itself explains that.
Christ was not, he was here when creation was made. He never was not. He's always been here. There's not, he doesn't have a time, a start, a beginning, or an ending.
According to the Bible, he ended at the age of 33.
And began, and it was a certain time period, right? And they got that wrong. They say Christmas, right? That's why they celebrate Christmas, right?
Yeah, that's when he started his ministry at the age of 33, and he was able to, and he started to travel and do miracles and do the things that we know of him doing as Jesus Christ, which is Yeshua. But at 33, he started that. But him, like in the beginning of the book in Genesis, when he said, "Let us go and create man," Christ is one of the guys that has no beginning and no end.
Well, how do we know when he said "let us go"? Who was he even talking to?
He was talking. Is what the Christians call the Trinity concept. Christ,
how do we know that?
And the Holy Spirit, him, and because God is a spirit.
All right. So I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So if every particular prophet, every single prophet, right, promoted monotheism, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't the concept of saying, "Oh, God is a three," and putting that in there, doesn't that go against everything that all of the prophets said?
I mean, I would think it's like us. Aren't we 3-part beings, mind, body, and soul?
No, I mean, not necessarily. We wouldn't say we're a 3-part being. You would say you're a human being.
I mean,
you're a human being who has
what makes us who we are. Are we not three part?
The English language is a new language, so we can easily say that. But
Just
Yeah,
like
the
we can say
English
that
language
exactly.
don't. The
just like
English language is not
there was no
interpreted.
J in the English language when they created Jesus. So his name was Yeshua. Not to mention the just like how they say Hebrew. He didn't speak Hebrew. He spoke Paleo Aramaic. So
He spoke Aramaic.
the Hebrew
Exactly.
now is Yiddish. That's not
And
it's
and
not
in the term Aramaic
what's
is
spoken.
Eshar. It's
Huh?
Eshar, which Muslims say. We say Esau, but it's like Eshar.
I
Like,
thought
like,
you
like
guys said Isa.
yeah, we say Esau, but in Aramaic it's like Esau, but it's a little off. Like it's similar, like Esau, but it's a little off. But it's similar because those languages are familiar to each other. Those come from each other. Like when Jesus said God or his father, he used the term Elah or Allah, or how he pronounced it was with an Eloh. We say Allah. But
Uh-huh.
he may have turned it a little different, like Elah. So
Mhm.
we try to stay in accordance how he practiced, how he said it, how everyone else said it as well. So when we say like even 3-part, right?
Mhm.
So if we all, I mean, everything could be based on a trinity, but we wouldn't say everything is a trinity because
No,
man
no.
is made. That's something for man to know that man is mind, body, and soul, right? That's
Okay.
something
So
that's something
It's a
for us.
concept.
I know it. I know in Islam, it's a total meaning. But like us, we believe Jesus was God, right? Christ was God in human flesh. So if he would, if you take that amount, if you take that right there, and that he came here to teach us how to do this life, how to, like he said, I didn't come to destroy. I didn't come to destroy the commandments. I came to fulfill them. Right? I came to to show the world how to fulfill the commandments of God that we all should keep.
And
Right?
majority of the prophets said the same thing. Had the
Uh-huh.
similar stories, use some of the same language. You can get through God through me. I'm teaching this. Here these rules. Look, who that? Moses? He came
Most,
down with 2 tablets.
yeah,
Boom! Hey, this is what it is. So,
yeah.
but nobody
You know
said,
what?
nobody
You know
put.
what's interesting about all this is that the fact that we can go trace that predates Tutankhamen, Imhotep, and all these different people predates Christianity,
Yeah.
like so many thousand of years, right? But we can go back and find artifacts. We can go back and find tombs. We can find hieroglyphics. We can find even the pyramids speak of these individuals.
Yeah.
But when we look for the artifacts for Noah and Muhammad, well, not Muhammad, but for Moses and Jesus and all these people, we can't find no burial gowns. We can't find no artifacts. We can't find
But there's a reason.
anything
It's a
that
reason for
tells us that these people actually walked the earth.
it's a
Why is
reason.
that?
It's a reason for that. And the reason
Why
for
is
that,
it a reason when
the,
we can go back and find things that predate that?
the
Though?
reason why is because if you look
I
through
think we're just trying to justify it.
the Hebrews,
I love that I love that you said that. But they did find things on Moses, but Islam explains it and tells it. This is why they never found nothing with Esau. He said they thinking that he was here and boom, God took him up during that particular time period.
but what it is that
That's what Muslims. That's the belief in Muslim. Muslim believe God physically took Jesus up.
yeah,
Like he ain't get killed he ain't die on no cross. He ain't
yeah.
like God
Even
took him
even
up, and
even
that's how he gonna
the
come back because
cross,
he ain't
the
die. So
the
that's how he
cross
coming back.
wasn't what he was what wasn't was he was crucified on. It was a
Oh,
stake.
we got we got the KGB. I thought we had the keyboard gangsters up in there. My bad.
And then what Melly said is that what I think a lot of people's thing is that most people don't understand that the Hebrews, like you take the Egyptians and the hieroglyphs and the things they find, and they were their real name was Mizraim, not Egypt. They were the people that chronicled things, wrote things down. That's why you find all those things. Hebrew, we were we were taught the oral traditions. That's why in the Bible it tells you the man is the priest of his home. We were supposed to tell our kids and our family the stories. That's why we were called the shepherd kings. That's why David was a shepherd. Saul, every
You have to turn your camera
every
on,
one of our
brother.
leaders
Jason
was a
Warford.
shepherd.
You got to turn your camera on, else I'm
You
gonna
know, it's
put you.
crazy. No, it's crazy because he admitted, and not to go against you, but what gets me at times is when people know that, like, the propaganda that was put out there, right? And
Mhm.
people know, like, what happened with the Bible. Know even some of the books were written. They don't even know who it was written by, right? But then they hold on. They hold on to the main thing, right? One thing, and it comes usually out of the Book of John, which is one of the last books that was written, which not even attributed to really John, right?
Yeah,
Attributed like to somebody else.
yeah,
But they hold on to that point, and they push majority of the writings out of that book to
uh-huh.
justify and say, yo, Jesus is God and the Trinity, but nowhere else. Like, there's like nowhere else, and Jesus never even said that. Like, he and that's the
Even
thing that get me is when the
even
proof is
back in
there.
Jesus, when Jesus was talking to Peter and he said, on the truth, on this rock I'll build my church. What he was saying was is on that truth of him being who he was, that's the knowledge he will build the church on, of him being God and him being the way to get to get to get to heaven. Him to be in the way, the truth, the life, the only way that you can get into heaven. Everybody said it was Peter and the church and what he did, and like church people would tell you that the Peter's right, because if you look at most church people, they hold on to Peter's writing more than they hold on to what Jesus says.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be his book, and the majority of stuff that Jesus says is not even in there.
Yeah,
Because you
and
go you go you go into it.
what I really
Because if you go into it,
that
Jesus
Melly,
asked God. Jesus
what I
asked
really
God
wanted
to
to do,
help him.
what I really
Right?
wanted
Jesus
to do,
asked God to forgive him. Right?
yeah.
Jesus asked God for these things. So it's like when he speaks, so it's like people ignore that fact and say, "Oh no, he God." Like, so why he asking God to forgive him? Why he asking God for help?
There's a
For
guy, I can't think of his name. He published the Satanic Bible. Then he
uh,
turned around and published the NIV Bible.
Alexander
Same.
Crowley,
Yeah,
did you talk about Alexander Crowley?
yeah. I don't. I like. Wow. This is like. Come on, man. When we gonna just like wake
Well,
up and
this
realize that
I
Yeah.
a
wanted
lot
I
of
wanted
this stuff
to
is
ask you,
just
Kevin.
gas.
Talked to Melly before, and this is what I wanted to be on
You
here
gotta
to
turn your camera on,
is
bro. I can't put you on if you don't turn your camera on.
me. My camera's off.
No,
Nah,
no.
it's yours. You talking to somebody else.
Okay, what I wanted to say is it's just like this the gang stuff.
Uh-huh.
What they've done is that us as who we are. If you look through the Bible, even in you look through Islamic Qurans and stuff like that, we have a warrior nature that we were born with. We are
You said
we
of what nature?
we have a warrior nature.
All
We have
right.
a warrior nature of protecting family, life, and preserving our ways of life. So we are born. Even when you look in the Bible, when they was on Mount Sinai and God made the armies to combat the people that like the Amalekites and the people that was coming after us, he took the young men of the fighting age of every tribe and they made the armies. But what I'm saying is that we're born with an innate warrior nature. What they've done is they've taken that nature and they turned it on its head. What we were born with,
About
they've
that.
changed it to have us destroy each other. They have us to because you think of most of our young men that are involved in gangs that that live the lives that they do. That's why I asked you the question that I did when I asked you about why you joined, and then I had my own reasons why I joined. But the one thing about us that you never you ask anybody, because I used to do some work in CYA. When most people that's honest true will tell you our race of people, you don't have to. We're some of the only people that 101 most people can't handle us. Period. It takes more
What do
than
you mean by that?
even if you involve Shanks, it's because of what we were born with inside of our DNA. So what they've done is they've taken that DNA and they put us in these ghettos and taken the God-given strength and
Did they
things
put us in
we
the
have.
ghetto, or did we put ourselves here? I mean, because
The
we
thing
been
is,
back
like
to,
I told you when I think I told you or somebody else I was talking to, is that they even lied to us about who us being here, is that like the Indians and stuff, like we were here before anybody else. But when we was here, they don't tell the story to the people that they couldn't enslave the people that was on this continent already because of that warrior nature.
you know what we missing from this conversation, that black people ruled for millions and millions of
Millions,
years before we
Exactly.
got
we
to where
our
we
our
at
our
today.
people, our
Exactly.
people
So,
are
so this
just like
last
what
little
they're doing now.
2,000 years is nothing compared to where we come from.
So
Okay.
that's what. Hey, yo, no, it's crazy because I'm glad you said, because that's what I meant about going through certain knowledge and science, right?
Yeah,
Like when I told you, like I went and studied that. Like that's not a game, right?
yeah,
Like
Mhm.
I really did, as far as like going like before ancient Egypt, like the Kushite Empire,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Nubian Empire, right? When
yeah.
Earth was like Pangea, Pangola, when the continents were together, right?
Mhm.
Or stories where they say that we was already traveling to other planets
Yeah.
Yeah,
already, right?
Anunnaki.
Yeah, and coming here and
yeah,
actually settling here and being put here for us to rule this particular planet, right? Because
mhm,
other ones were already ruled, did that and all everywhere else, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
now even like coming into our power and a certain member of our people being dissatisfied, right? Because in the 5% thing, they give a little lesson of it,
yeah.
right? Where it talks about Yakub,
The
or
big head
Jacob.
scientist.
Yeah,
Exactly, right?
yeah.
Or people may refer and say Satan or call him the devil or
Mhm.
whatever, but there are things that's similar in not just Jacob in the Bible, not just the Yaqub in the thing, but also in the Quran as well, where Allah says He's gonna show you yourself if you succumb to your lower desires,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So basically, like He's gonna put you face to face with yourself, right? So
You
now
you
now, if
said
we
you
look at
study.
that,
You
forget
said
religion. We're gonna take religion out of it, right?
okay.
So
We'll
now,
take.
if we're looking at it from a
But
the
you
science
said
point of view,
you studied. You
how
studied.
can I show you? How can I show you, right?
Yeah.
If you were like depleted of certain energy and power and DNA inside, how can I do that?
Um, that's a hard question to answer right there. That's real. That's a head scratcher. Um, because what I was going to ask you is that you take you so of course, like you read the Bible before, you because you've done all the studying and you did
Yeah,
what
of
you
course.
did.
Went to school for it.
Yeah,
Got a
okay. So
degree in it.
you
Uh,
take Deuteronomy and you read Deuteronomy and the curses and everything else. As the Lord said, those were signs and things to show you who his people was and whatever. What people on this planet or that's ever been here could fits those characteristics of those curses.
so this is gonna be a little controversial. I'm gonna say it though. This is gonna be a little controversial
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but the same that they were talking about. So the answer to that is how you would show yourself a weaker version of yourself
Hmm.
is by cloning. This is
Okay.
what the people's on now. You
So
clone.
you fit. So are you saying
So
that
you clone. You make another version.
those
You make a
curses?
version of you.
So you think those verses, like when he said on Mount Sinai, because my thing is the reason, like even with the gangs, the reason we are where we are is because we reach for everything and every God. Just like you look at Jehovah's Witness, you look at Seventh-day Adventists, you look at all these religions out here, and if you look at the numbers, a lot of the numbers are us. A lot of these religions, the numbers are us.
Kitty back. You a Hebrew Israelite, right?
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
I thought that's what you were. That's what you said you were.
I said I'm a Hebrew, but my thing is, like the Bible tells you, when you worship the Lord, you must worship him in spirit and truth. That means you cannot be racist. That means you cannot hate. That means you cannot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to, because the Hebrew Israelites are definitely, they got some discrepancies about them,
Exactly.
because they deny a certain group of black people for whatever reason. I don't know, but they look just like us.
Well, the thing is with them, that's what it was when I did my studies is that if you call yourself loving the Most High and the man of God, and you read his teachings and his knowledge, that means everything on this planet he created. To love him, it's just like you. If you got kids, everything that's in your house you created. You have to love it. It's yours. You created it. So you can't, regardless to what they do.
All right, there we go.
Or behave.
Hold up, I still can't hear nobody.
Or not love them or dislike them. So that's you.
Somebody said, Ben say the world is no more than 6,000 years now, Ben. You better go do some more research, bro.
But if you
got to go do matter of fact, you got to do a whole lot of research.
but because you're doing but the thing is like, because I remember
Can't hear nobody.
That
I can hear you.
The Bible is the white man's book. That's what somebody said. The Bible is the white man's book. And if that's the truth,
so why do black people follow it then?
90% of the books are the white man's books.
Why do black people follow that? Answer that question.
Black people, when we got here, we knew of the Bible. We knew of the teachings. We knew of.
I couldn't hear nobody.
Everything was in it. The reason we followed it though is because.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear y'all now. I couldn't hear. Y'all.
The reason we follow it and we go by it is because one.
Does that make sense to you?
They beat it into us.
They beat it into us. But once again, there's biology and there's free will. So now we have the free will to do something different. So, but yet still found a 90% right now. If they was to institute slavery again, 90% of black people will be saying it's God's will.
Okay.
Yep.
I like, for instance, you take somebody like Harriet Tubman, right? You take her. So she said that she would have freed more people if they knew they were slaves.
That's true, but here's the thing, right, guys? Listen, we cannot be black and proud and be nigga stupid.
And be what?
Don't go together.
That's
nigga,
right.
did you say nigga stupid?
America created niggas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nowhere around this world you find niggas, but somewhere, United States.
That's right.
So therefore, that is a creation of the United States, or the United Snakes of America. That is the creation.
But my question is for both of y'all, do you know what a nigga is?
Hold on, King Man. The funny thing about all this, KK, is that we can't do nothing together besides the electric slide. That's all black people do together. We get together and do electric slide on time. We be in tune and we can't do nothing else together.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Do you know what a nigga is?
Of course, we can go back to the etymology of the word, and we'll find out that it means kings. Of course, we can do all that. But I'm talking about what it means here in the United States.
That's why I say words got power.
Yes.
The Most High told us that his people would be known by a byword. A byword.
What?
That they would be known by a byword. Just like if you go and pull up the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it tells you that Ham is the creator of all black people but the Negroes. This is their book.
That don't even make that.
Kenny, I
And
think
according to
them
science, that
people
don't
don't
make
put
no sense.
a hex on you, Kenny.
Yeah, because you
This
go
is
you
no
go to
hex,
You
science,
bruh.
bro. That don't
you
No
make no
hex.
speaking
sense
It's no
you
whatsoever.
hex
speaking that spooky
because
stuff, bro. I don't do
That don't make no
spooky.
sense.
no, because no, what I just
Hey,
told you was
the
if
hood
if
postman, let me tell y'all right here now, the
Assalamu
hood
alaikum
postman
rahmatullah
do not do
barakatuh.
spooky. I don't do kabuki. I
it
don't do
wasn't spooky what
spooky.
I just
I
said,
don't do
bruh.
none of that.
If you just listen to what I just said, it was nothing spooky. What I said to you, I said is that like the word Negroes, when they brought us here, the first word they used was Hebos. That's the words that's on every slave poster, which is a
Nah,
derivative
I
of
seen some
Negro.
posters. I did a lot of studying. I ain't seen Hebos. I saw a nigga
You didn't see
on
the
it.
word Negro? I could bring you up a poster right now that say Hebos.
I ain't see. You can show me though.
Igbo is a
I ain't saying
tribe
it's wrong, but
in Africa. That's a tribe.
No,
Igbo.
yeah,
That's
okay, and that's what I'm saying. I'm leading you to where you said the spooky is. So they started off calling us Hebrews, just like down through time, just like right now we call ourselves African Americans, two continents,
yeah.
which is worse than the spooky stuff you're talking about. We
But
call
how about
ourselves
this?
two
How
continents.
about this? They call you nigga because they're afraid of you.
They
They call
call.
you boy because you literal to them. You literal
Do you
when they
know?
call
Do
you a
you
boy.
know the word
But when they call
nigga?
you a nigga,
The
they call
word
you that
nigga
because they're
is a
afraid of
derivative.
you.
The word
So it
nigga is
wasn't
a
NEGUS. It wasn't
No,
Negro.
that. It was
no,
NIG.
yes.
It was what? I
And you
understand
look
that.
at the the dictionary. It said ignorant person. That's what it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That was
exactly
those
what it
things.
means.
Okay, so that's another thing, right? To what you said right there. You saying you look in the dictionary and what that said, but the Bible is a white man book. Is not the dictionary the white man's book?
Understand? I'm almost
To
done here.
explain the white man's language.
Yeah, to explain the white man's language, which is
Exactly.
a
And we
language.
using the white man's language right now.
Yeah,
So to know
exactly.
what I'm
Which is
saying,
a
I
language
would
that's
look to the
turned
white
Man,
on
man's.
its head,
I would
that's
look in
turned
the
on
white
its
man's
head.
dictionary to know what the white man
back,
talking about.
Exactly.
you've
But
been
I'm saying
colonized, brother.
that book was written
Where
just
my
like
book
you said.
at?
I work with kids from
Hold
France
on.
and Africa in my my organization that I
Yeah.
run. And the thing they tell me is the language we speak is the hardest language in the world because our language is the only language that has two or three words that mean the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you explaining bacon, it might be two or three words just to explain bacon. In every other language, it's just like when I was talking to an African kid, I told him to say something, and he said, I can't translate that because there's only one word for it. We have five or six different words or to mean the same thing, which mean that all this, like he said, the spooky, this whole thing is a hex. And
Listen,
it's all
get
set up,
back.
and it's
When you
all
get
set up.
chance, I want you to go get this book, bro.
Are you still a slave?
Are you still a slave?
And in the back of this book,
Uh-huh.
it has a quiz
Okay.
that you can take.
Okay. I want you
And
to ask one of those questions. Ask me one of those questions. One, just one.
That's the
you
brother that
sure
just
you
came
ready
up.
for this,
Sound like
brother?
him, bro.
Huh?
See,
What'd you
Uh,
say, bro? Kent? What'd you say, Kevin?
Nah. I thought that was I was saying that was the Muslim brother that just came up.
Okay, no, I won't Melly Mel to ask me one of them questions. Just one.
Who, me to ask you a question?
You want out of that book you got. Ask me one of them questions of the quiz.
Oh,
Just one. Pick any one.
why do black people buy black children white dolls and books featuring white characters?
The same reason they use Jesus.
Say again.
The same reason they use Caesar Borgia to be Jesus.
Okay, we know that, right?
Same
Uh-huh.
reason that they say Jesus is God.
Nah, that's not the truth. The reason they say Jesus is God is because he is God. He put it on. He
It's
came
the
down
same
here to do
reason.
something that nobody could do.
right.
He
Hey,
came, he came down here to show everybody that what needed to be done. It was only one person that could do it.
him as God in human
That
flesh.
that don't even make sense for God's for God power. That don't even make sense. God would have to
Why wouldn't it make
take
sense for you
millions of
if
years
you know
later.
that
No, listen.
if you
You
know
talking
your
about
people are
time
gonna
now?
you know
I'm
your
going to
people are gonna perish. You know your
now.
people
You
are
talking
gonna
about?
perish.
Listen, maybe you're going to the religious aspect, right? We're just gonna go
Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk. Yeah, I don't
the
like talking
common
about
thing,
religion.
right?
Period. Religion
So
is bondage.
this person that's been in power
Yeah,
millions of years, created worlds,
untraceable,
universes, and all that,
untraceable.
right?
Yeah,
Gonna pick
traceable.
that time to
Hmm.
become a person to show
Uh-huh.
some people his power.
No, that's not what it was.
That don't make sense.
But that's not what it was. That's not what he did.
You just said that's what he did.
No. What I said is that your people. I'm putting it in the aspect of like what would you say, a third person? You know your people is gonna perish because of what Adam already did. You know your people are gonna perish. They don't have the power to not perish because one, they're too undisciplined. All they do is sin continuously. Everything that's right, they go against it. They want sin. They love sin. They
All right,
crave sin.
so now there was already a cycle though. Listen, there was already
Yeah,
a cycle.
yeah.
Anytime a people did that, they got
Uh-huh.
wiped out.
No.
They got wiped
But,
out.
but,
So
but I
what
want to
made
stay to
those
this point. I
people?
want to stay to
Hold
this
up.
point. I
What
don't want
made
to talk
those
about those
people?
people. I want to stay to this point for you
What
because
made those people so
what's
special?
important, what I want you to understand is that I grew up in a Pentecostal. My brother is a Muslim. So I talk these conversations I'm having right now. I have them every day.
Good.
So what I'm
So
telling
what
you
made those
is
people
that
so special? I want to know what made those people,
uh-huh.
right? Out of all the people throughout history and other
But
places
it
and all
wasn't
that,
those people. It
what
wasn't
made
those
those
people.
people so special, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
God, forgive me. He had to become a man to
Nah.
show them his power so he can save them.
God
When
told
God already showed you that throughout
God
history,
told you when
throughout
Adam sinned
time, when
and
he
he
wipes
told
you out,
Eve.
he wiping it out.
No,
He's gonna destroy the whole
God
thing
told you
and build it all over
Yeah, I
again.
got a
no,
couple
listen,
questions.
That goes back to
God
Isaiah
told you,
45:7. Isaiah
listen.
45:7. God created
God
both
told
good and
you when Eve sinned that the serpent was gonna bruise. You was gonna
let me
bruise
say
his heel,
this,
but he was gonna
Kenny
crush
Man.
your head,
Kenny
right?
Man.
He
Kenny
told
Man.
you,
All the death and destruction in the Bible, who did it?
God.
Okay then.
But
Name
no, but
me
you don't
one
know why
person
the
the
death
devil
and
killed.
destruction. Why was the death and destruction done?
Name me one person that the devil killed in the Bible.
No. That's not why was the death and destruction done?
You want to ask a question with a question. I'm
No, I'm
asking a
not.
question and you
Because
flip around
the
them
Bible
questions and
tells
go
you
back to another question.
Jesus came
Hey,
down.
listen.
He gave you the
I
parable.
can't
He gave
answer
you the
that
parable for the
question.
death and
You can
destruction. He
answer
gave
it. Go
you the
ahead, answer
parable
it.
for
Okay,
the death and destruction.
answer the question for him. Answer
He
the
gave
question.
he gave you the parable for
Look,
he gave you the parable for the
Hold on,
destruction.
Kenny Mac. Hold on.
He gave you the
so
parable.
look, according
Huh?
to the book of Job,
Yeah.
according to the book of Job,
Uh-huh.
Satan actually did kill the people. He killed the Job whole family, swiped
Uh-huh.
out his whole family. God said, touch,
First of
you
all,
can touch.
he had to get permission for that.
Yeah, right. He asked you a question. He was like, show me any person in the Bible that Satan killed. So I would just answer that
Okay,
question.
okay, good. That's something I didn't know. But for all the
Yeah.
death and destruction I've seen, it's been committed by God. That is
Right.
that
That's
is
just
that really saying that he loves us? I mean, if that love, I don't
no.
want to have nothing to do with it. My personal
Hey,
opinion.
listen.
So
I
that's
look
how
at
they
it like
justify.
this.
That's how they justify Jesus. When they say they say Jesus is God because he came here to save us and show us that he loves us. So they hold Jesus for that.
Look
But
at Kenny up there
that's
anxious.
not the
He up there
case.
anxious. Kenny, you
It's
up?
the same
That's
story.
not. That's
God is
not.
consistent. One thing God is consistent. So we know
Look
God
at
ain't
So
just
Kenny.
looking
listen.
at the plan.
Hey,
He
KK,
tell
look
you
at
this.
Kenny. He up
This
there
what it
anxious.
is.
He up there anxious.
He
So
gonna
so
get
so my Muslim brother, I got a question for you. You
yeah.
know, according to I read into the Quran as well too. You know, most definitely.
I got you.
I get some good edification from the Quran as well too. You know, most definitely.
Okay.
I
I
can't
got some
take.
good
I
edification
got
from Quran too.
I got
Got you.
yeah. You know, so this is what my question is right here. So
Okay.
if the Quran states that you know that all the prophets, according to the scriptures, Muhammad should us as people should follow as well too. That's what Muhammad basically
So,
said
Dulo, are
was
you a Hebrew Israelite?
So say that.
Huh?
no. I'm
So say
if
that again.
hold on. Let me answer this question real quick. He
Yeah,
asked me
Okay.
good.
was I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So
Okay.
I'm according to the scriptures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from the tribe. I'm from the tribe of Judah and all
Yeah.
those things
Yeah.
physically, but
Yeah.
but from a spiritual perspective, you know, most definitely, I'm holiness, you know, because that's what the Most High said to be.
Yeah.
According to the book of Leviticus 19:19, ye shall be holy because I am holy.
Yeah. Because the spirits profit you
And
nothing if you don't
yeah,
keep his commandments
One
and his
thing I've been unable to do is nail down these Hebrew Israelites on what they actually believe in because there's many different
I
sects,
yeah.
told you what we believe in.
divisions,
Hey,
misunderstandings. You
it's
got
a
the
Hey yo,
I just
but
told you
or whatever
it's
it
funny. Hood cash.
I just told you.
You know what it is though? Because now, right, with all of the stuff that's coming out and information just becoming
Uh-huh.
so vast, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have brothers and individuals that want to turn away from that. They're looking for something else, right? So a lot of them seen,
Who is
oh,
right,
what you talking about? I don't understand.
Hebrew Israelites,
Okay.
or I'm the real Israelite because that bit of knowledge just got put out there, right? So they
Uh-huh.
like, hey, like everybody grab them, but not knowing their thing goes back way before that,
You do, but you do
before
know
all of
that
that,
Hey,
right?
listen,
You
guys.
act like we go
Listen,
back and
guys.
we
slave trade
established.
and all
I
of
got,
this
This
that's
is
going
why
I
on
got
that you
some.
talk
Islam.
about
Listen,
is
guys.
still
Hold
going
on.
on. It's still going on right now in Mecca.
I got something that came up, but
Slavery is
unfortunately,
still
I got
going
to go
on.
take care of some business.
The Arabics are
But
still enslaving black
KK,
people
I
right
got
now.
your number.
Right now.
Dulo, and the other brother Ali send me a message over in IG at the Hood Postman, and I got you, K, and we'll reconvene this discussion. But I really got to go take care of
Yeah, it's
something.
been
You
a while.
can't
Remember, I
answer
told
that
you I
right.
had
question
a
though. I
conference
can't
call. I
finish
got to
that
go right
question.
Yeah.
now too. That's
I
the
can't
brother
finish
right
that
there.
question.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.
Oh,
Shout out to the
nah,
Mailroom Nation, the
finish
Mailroom
that
Goons.
question, bro.
Say again.
I had to finish answering that
Shalom,
question.
peace.
I can't leave like that.
Who?
What was the
Who was
what was the
that?
What he
question?
said about what God did, like when he had to put on flesh and come down here and show you
Nah, bro, nobody jacking
how it
that,
had to
man.
be done.
We
How it
give.
had to be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nobody
but
jacking that. Ain't nobody jacking that.
Hey,
the most
listen,
high
man.
would
Listen, guys. I'll reconvene and we'll talk about this at a later date. Peace and blessings,
Peace and
everyone.
blessings.
Peace and blessings, man. Appreciate each and every last one of you, man. Wow, that was amazing, guys. I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman, once again. We had an incredible panel, but you know, a little bit funny too. But man, don't mind me just watching. But go ahead and lock that door.
Cali Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga Wall won't give a pro bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it. I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Lock the door because we are gone.